Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulihil Kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man istanna bi sunnatihi ila yawmiddin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. Last week we have done the letters of Rasulullah Sallallahu to different kings and emperors of the world around him. And one of our brothers mentioned that we forgot to mention one thing, that when Rasulullah sent a letter to the Roman king, there was a prediction in the Quran. If you know, there is a surah in the Quran, Suratul Rome, and in that surah Allah says, Alif Lam Mim Ghulibatir Rome. It means that Allah is saying that Rome has been defeated by the Persian. During the lifetime of Rasulullah Sallallahu, the Persian king, they have always fight with the Roman people, and the Persian actually take the upper hand. They almost finished the Roman kingdom from that area, from the Syria and everything, and they almost took over the Rome. But Allah said in the Quran that within 6 to 9 years time, basically within 6 to 9 years time, they will be come back. Like the Roman will be win again, and nobody could believe that it can be possible, because Persian was very strong and they almost beat the Roman. But as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala predicted that Roman came back and they have taken over. They win the next battle within 9 years. And so this is a prediction in the Surah Rum, one of the prediction of the miracle of the Quran. Now today, inshallah ta'ala, we'll talk about the Umratul Qada of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Umratul Qada, as you all know what is Qada means, right? To make up something. Like we have the Qada prayer, and Umratul Qada means because Rasulullah came to do Umrah in Hudaybiyah, and all the Muslims are ready to go to the Umrah, but because of the Quraysh, and they don't want them to come to the Makkah at that time, and instead we had a treaty, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, as we know, and everybody was signed the treaty, and according to the treaty, the Quraysh agreed that no, this year you cannot enter into the Makkah, you can come next year. You can come next year for Umrah. And as we saw that Abu Bakr, Umar, all the Sahaba was very, very upset, because they came all the way from Medina and to the Hudaybiyah, near to the Makkah, but they couldn't do the Umrah at that time. So today we'll talk about the Umratul Qada, and then some related events at the same time that it happened. And it's a coincidence that yesterday we talked about the ayah of Hajj and Umrah, and today also it comes to the same thing, like Umratul Qada. But inshallah ta'ala we'll go through it quickly. So the Umratul Qada, what happened basically, that in the 7th year of Hijrah, this year, the same year, the early of this year, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah happened. So 1 year passed by, Rasulullah gathered together almost 2,000 Muslims. So it's a big gathering. 2,000 Muslims from Medina, they all prepared to go with the Umrah of Rasulullah. And this is the first physical Umrah of Rasulullah. By physical, what I mean, because the last time when Rasulullah came to do Umrah at Hudaybiyah, he didn't do the Umrah because of the Quraysh, and as Surah Al-Fatih mentioned, that he got the reward of the Umrah. So he shaved his hair, as you all remember, he shaved his hair, he went back to Medina, but he didn't do the Umrah inside the Makkah, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give everybody the reward of the Umrah. But this is the first time that Rasulullah doing a Umrah like the way we do Umrah, basically. So what happened that time? So Rasulullah have 2,000 people, and everybody now has a weapon with them. This time they have taken their weapon, and they went near to Makkah, and some of the delegation of the Quraysh, they heard the news that 2,000 people are coming with the weapons, so they had some fear. So they came to Rasulullah and they said, Ya Rasulullah, you had never been treacherous to your treaty, and you had a treaty that you will never fight. So why this weapon are here? We had a treaty in Hudaybiyah that there will be no fighting and everything. So Rasulullah said, yes, I will maintain my treaty. I haven't entered into Makkah. In the treaty I say I will never go to the Makkah with weapon, and I will leave my weapons here. So what Rasulullah make it like a warehouse kind of place, and he put all the weapons there, and he put 200 people out of 2,000 people, 200 people in charge of this weapon, because he also feared that something could happen inside the Makkah, so we can ready for the fight. So 200 people were guard of this the weapons, and these 200 people will do like a Umrah later on. So 200 people finish, they'll come out, swap, and they will go to the Umrah. So basically the Umratul Qada, what Rasulullah did, as we do, that they went to the Kaaba, and this is the first time that 2,000 Muslim, they are doing Talbiyah, and because there was a rumor between the Meccan people, because you have to understand the these people, they left Makkah almost 8 to 9 years now, almost 7 years, minimum 7 years they left Makkah. And this is their homeland. This is their, they grew up here. Even Rasulullah grew up here. He spent 40, like almost 50 years, 51 years here. The house of Khadija, house of Abi Talib, everything is here. So everybody's, the memory is coming back, and they're so happy to see the Kaaba again with their eyes again. But, some Quraysh, they spread a rumor that, these people, they look very weak now, because Medina has a lot of disease, and which is true. Because Medina has cultivation, they have water nearby Medina. So as you all remember, that when Rasulullah left to Makkah and went to Medina first, every Sahaba, almost every Sahaba, like Abu Bakr, Bilal, all these Sahaba, they fall in sick. They had high fever, and some scholars say this kind of like pneumonia, all kind of things. So they had this disease in Medina. Makkah is a very harsh place. It's very, there's not too much greenery is there. So because of the heat and temperature, Makkah is, out of this jump. So Makkah doesn't have that much of disease. So the people of Makkah, they said that these people, they went to Medina, after they're coming back, they look very weak, they look very sick. So Rasulullah heard this, and Rasulullah told the Sahaba to raise their talbiyah. And that's why we raise our talbiyah, labbaik, Allahumma labbaik, labbaik, la sharika laka labbaik. So they raised their voice. And also Rasulullah said that, when you do the first tawaf, you showed your right shoulder. And that's what we do. That's the sunnah. Then when you do the first time the tawaf, you showed your right shoulder, and also the first 3 rounds you do like a jogging, like you just show that you're running. Nowadays we cannot do that because there's so many people. We just have to walk quickly. But this is a sunnah, and this is called ramal. And from this event, this is the sunnah comes. So people around him, they saw, they're doing like this way. They're showing their shoulder. It's like they're showing like a muscle or something, and also they're running for the first tawaf. First 3 tawafs, and so they understand, no, they are not good, they are actually really enthusiastic to do the tawaf, they are energetic and everything. So this is how he do the Umratul Qada. And some of the books say that at this time, people of Makkah, some people, they locked themselves inside the house, because they thought that 2,000 people coming, there will be a big war or something. And some people, they meet, like the chieftain, they met in a place called Darun Nadwa. Darun Nadwa is like their parliament. At that time, the Quraysh has a parliament. They gather together. They have all the meetings and everything. Like all administration, decision was made in Darul Nadwa. So some of them gathered together there to see what's going to happen. And some say some group of people, they left Makkah for a few days and they went to the valleys to live. So anyway, this is how Umratul Qada was finished in short. And as I said, there are some related events with this time. So Rasulullah stayed in Makkah for 3 days. After the Umratul Umrah, he stayed for Makkah 3 days. That was the contract with the Quraysh, that we cannot stay more than 3 days. And in these 3 days, Rasulullah get married, and he's married to Maimuna radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. Maimuna was the sister of al-Fadl. al-Fadl is the wife of Al-Abbas. So Al-Abbas, very simply, Al-Abbas is the uncle of Rasulullah. He is still in Makkah. Al-Abbas is still in Makkah. He's Muslim, but he's still in Makkah. He didn't do the hijrah yet. So Al-Abbas' wife is al-Fadl, and al-Fadl's sister was Maimuna. Maimuna was a widow, so her husband passed away, and she was a Muslim. And Al-Abbas proposed to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, she's a good lady, and Rasulullah also knew her because she is a Qurayshi, and she grew up in Makkah. So Rasulullah said, okay, that's fine, I'm happy to marry Maimuna, and this is the last marriage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this wife of Rasulullah, Maimuna radhiyallahu anha, she is the last wife to pass away. So after Rasulullah passed away, she probably passed away 61 or 62 Hijrah. So she is the last wife to pass in Maimuna. And when the marriage happened, there was a hadith from Ibn Abbas, and this is a controversial hadith. Hadith says that Rasulullah was in ihram when he got married. But as we all know that it is not allowed at all. But and this is Sahih hadith. And then scholar has debated a lot what is Ibn Abbas mean? Why did he say he's in ihram? And there's another hadith from Maimuna herself. There Maimuna said, when Rasulullah got married to me, he was not in ihram. His ihram was finished. So some people say, it is probably an honest mistake from Ibn Abbas, because he understood. And some scholars say, no, by ihram he doesn't mean the ihram that we do. By ihram he's mean that he's inside the Kaaba at that time. And maybe he's finished his ritual, but he's inside the Kaaba. Anyway, so but we have other hadith from Maimuna radhiyallahu anha that Rasulullah was not in ihram, and Rasulullah told the Quraysh that look, I just got married here, so I will throw a feast for you guys. So why don't you come and join my marriage? Enjoy my marriage, and also I can stay a few days more, because everybody wants to stay in Makkah. This is their homeland, and they came back for so long. Imagine like if you go to your own country, Bangladesh or Pakistan, you don't want to come back in 3 days or 4 days, right? You want to stay a bit more time, and if you go after such a long time later. So, but the Quraysh was very stubborn. They said, no, we don't need your food. They are very rude. They said, no, we don't need your food. Your contract 3 days, you have to leave Makkah in 3 days. So from here we can see that it is okay to give the dawah of Islam to non-Muslim by giving some by food or inviting them something, because at the end of what Rasulullah is doing, he's trying to soften their heart, giving the message of Islam and showing them, look, this is how we do the thing, this is how we get married, this is how we can mingle with each other and everything. So he's trying to soften their mind, but they are very rude, they are stubborn. So Rasulullah left Makkah, and the marriage was done in Makkah, but it was not consummated in Makkah. There's a place called Sarif, which is near to Makkah. So this is where Rasulullah consummated the marriage with Maimuna. And it is the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that after so many years later, Maimuna once visited Sarif, and this is where she passed away. So where she was married was consummated with Rasulullah. This is the same place she passed away at that time. And the next event, the custody of a small, like a very young girl. She was 7 or 8 years old, and her name was Umara bint Hamza. So she was the daughter of Hamza. So what basically happened after the Umrah and the marriage, Rasulullah was leaving the Makkah, and the little girl, 7 or 8 years old, she came and he said, Ya Am means uncle. Ya Am, take me with you. I don't want to live here. Take me with you. So everybody, looking, what? There's a girl and coming and talking to, asking, who is this girl? Then everybody said, oh, this is Umara. Umara is the daughter of Hamza. Now Hamza radiallahu anhu, as you all know, he became shaheed in Battle of Uhud. Very good. So he passed away, but when he left Makkah, he left his family here. He left his wife and daughter here. So he went to Makkah Medina by himself, and where he became shaheed in Battle of Uhud. So basically she was an orphan at that time. And another relationship is that, because Makkah is a very small community, so the intermarriage is very common at that time. Like you married to someone and she's like cousin of the other one, then your wife, your sister is a uncle of some. All these things are related together. So the mother of Umara bint Hamza, so the wife of Hamza, was also the sister of Maimuna. The Maimuna, so actually basically I spoke about this one a few lectures back. The greatest mother-in-law, if you can say, was the lady of this mother of Maimuna. That lady, we don't know her name. She has 6 daughters. Out of 6 daughters, 2 daughters were the wife of Rasulullah, Maimuna and Zainab bint Khuzaimah. These 2 wives were the sisters. And one of his daughters, so two daughters gone. 3rd daughter is married to Al-Abbas, Al-Fadl, as we mentioned. 4th daughter is married to Hamza. And the 6th was Asma bint Umais. Asma bint Umais was the wife of Ja'far. And when Ja'far became shaheed, she became the wife of Abu Bakr. When Abu Bakr passed away, she became the wife of Ali. So she was married to the 3 great Sahaba. And there was another daughter of her. She was the daughter, actually she was the mother of Khalid bin Walid. So Khalid bin Walid and Al-Abbas, they were also cousins. So Khalid bin Walid, actually his khala is the wife of Rasulullah. So there's so many relationships here, it's very confusing. But anyway, so everybody rushed to the girl, and first person to rush to the girl is Ali ibn Abi. Ali said, okay, Hamza is my uncle, so I'm in charge of this daughter. I will take care. And he took the hand of Umara and give it to Fatima. Oh, Fatima, take care. From today, she is our daughter. Then Zaid ibn Haris came. And Zaid ibn Haris said, no, why are you taking her? Hamza was brother to me also. And Rasulullah made the brothership with me and Hamza. I have a very good times with Hamza. So I am ready to take that in charge of this daughter. So I will have Umara. Then comes Zafar. And Zafar said, Ali, I am your elder brother. And also, my wife is the khala of Umara. So I have more rights on her. So I will take the in charge of the Umara. So all these 3 big Sahaba, they had kind of an argument about the same issue. But imagine, few years back in Makkah, if you have a girl, they used to bury this girl. And now Islam has changed the whole concept. Because they know that how grateful it is, how blissful it is, how barakah it is to raise an orphan, right? And everybody is almost fighting to raise an orphan girl. And she's a girl, not even a son, because girls has been, as you know, that in Makkah, Allah mentioned in the surah also, they used to kill the little girls, and everybody is fighting in there. So when Rasulullah saw that they had a heated argument, so Rasulullah came and he praised all three of them. he said to Ali, I forgot the Arabic, Ana minka or anni minka, something like this. I am from you and you are from me. And this statement is Rasulullah is a Sahih statement. And the group there, the Shia and whoever, so they took this statement and they make a big deal out of it. But Rasulullah said, because Ali grew up in the house of Rasulullah and there's a lot of similarity in everything in Ali and Rasulullah. So he said, I am from you and you are from me. Then Rasulullah praised Zaid bin Harisa. Then Rasulullah praised Zafar also. Zafar, he said to Zafar that you are at my age and also you look like me, to Zafar. So all three are good people. So he's like trying to make a solution. At the end he said a hadith. He said al khalatu bi manzilatul meaning the khala has the manzila, the right of the mom, like the mother. So Zafar should have this child because Zafar's wife Asma bint Umais is the khala of this. And that's why in Islam, when it comes to the custody, not the inheritance, the custody, the khala has more rights of a child. So if someone's father or mother both passed away or something orphan, the khala, if she has a khala, so khala has more right. So Jafar got the custody of the Umara bint Hamza and they took her and they went to Medina. The next things, actually the three major conversion. And these are the three people, they are the last people before the conquest of Makkah. In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran that people who converted to Islam before the Makkah, before the conquest of Makkah, are different than the people who became the Muslim after the conquest of Makkah. Why different? Because that time, before the conquest of Makkah, Islam was always under pressure. So people who accepted Islam at that time, they have more daraja to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who are these three people? At the end, they are Amr ibn al-As, Khalid bin Walid, and Usman bin Talha. So we'll go through the stories very quickly, how they became and who are they. I think you should all know. But Amr ibn al-As, as you all know, he was the diplomat, the greatest politician of the Quraysh. He knows how to deal with the other kings and emperors, and he has all the politics, like a statesman, as you say, or whatever you say, like prime minister, whatever you say. So he is like the main politician of the Quraysh. And when he saw that Islam is going so strong, and 2,000 people coming to Hudaybiyah, after Hudaybiyah they are coming to do Umrah, so he was scared. He said, I think I'm not going to be able to live in Makkah. I'm going to leave Makkah, because if I leave Makkah, stay in Makkah, I have to become a Muslim, or I have to be, die in the battle with the Muslims. So I'll leave Makkah, I'll go to Abyssinia. Because Najashi is my friend, I will stay with him. I will stay under him. So he went to the Najashi. At that time, when he went to Najashi, he explained to Najashi, look, this is the situation. I don't want to be a Muslim. I don't believe in these people, so I want to stay under you. Please let me stay here. And he has some people with him, so me and some group of people will stay under you. At the same time, when he was talking to Najashi, the king of the Abyssinia, at that time one of the messenger, like one of the Sahaba, he came from Medina to bring a message to the Najashi. And Amr ibn al-As saw this Muslim Sahaba. So he became some furious, He wanted to kill this guy. So he said to the king Najashi, "Oh Najashi, will you allow me to kill this guy just as a revenge? Because these people, the Muslims, they have killed our leaders in Badr. And they have, did a great treaty with us, Hudaybiyah, in Uhud, and all these things happened with us, in Khaybar, in Ahzab. So I want to kill him so that my reputation in Quraysh will be a bit higher. Because at least I can say, yes, I killed one Muslim in Abyssinia." On this, he didn't know that, Najashi is basically a Muslim inside, right? And Najashi became very furious. And he said, "How can you talk like this? And you want to stay under me? I'm going to kick you out from my kingdom right now." Then, Amr ibn As understood that, Najashi was very, very angry. So he went and he said, "Okay, please forgive me and everything, and all this thing." Then Najashi said to Amr ibn As, he started giving dawah to him. He said, this man, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is the man where the Jibril come to him. And you are saying he's going to tell you lie? You don't believe in him? What are you talking about? And can't you see that, how he is winning every battle, how people are coming to, how the Muslims are increasing? So basically, Najashi giving dawah to Amr ibn As, and Amr ibn As, his heart softened, and he said, "Will you accept my Islam on behalf of, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" Because he's in Abyssinia now. And Najashi said, "Yes, I will accept Islam." So you say La ilaha illallah, and then he accepted Islam. And this is a quiz question, because Najashi never saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Najashi, he is not a Sahaba. he is a tabi'in. And this kind of tabi'in who lived during the time of Rasulullah, they are called mukhradum. They have a different title called mukhradum, so they're special kind of tabi'in. So they were alive during the time of Rasulullah, but they didn't see Rasulullah. And this tabi'i, Najashi, he is giving dawah to a person who became a sahabi. So if you have any quiz question, you can ask who is the tabi'in who gave a dawah to a person, and that person became a sahaba. Because Amr ibn al-As became a great sahaba, as you all know, after this one. And he became the governor of the Egypt and everything. So he had a very good life after he became Muslim. So anyway, so he accepted Islam like this way. Once he accepted Islam, the Najashi said, now you go back to Medina and meet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you accept Islam again. Just tell him that you are Muslim now. So he said, okay, I will go. And Najashi said, don't fear. He is one. If you accept Islam, he will never ever harm you. So when Amr ibn As coming back to Makkah on the way to Medina, he saw two people coming out from the Makkah, and those two people were Khalid bin Walid and Usama bin Talha. Now Khalid bin Walid, as you know, he was always a great warrior, and he fight in Uhud. He made a lot of damage to the Muslim. His group is also fight in the Battle of Ahzab, and his group was also fighting. And also in Hudaybiyah, when Muslims were trying to go inside the Makkah, his group was trying to stop them. Although Rasulullah, overcome them, but Khalid bin Walid, as you all know, that he was a great warrior. And his brother name was also Walid. So Walid bin Walid. His brother was a Muslim since Battle of Badr. So his brother, when Rasulullah stayed in Makkah for 3 days Umratul Qada, Rasulullah asked his brother, where is Khalid? So his brother said, I don't know where is Khalid, but he's still not a Muslim, Ya Rasulullah. So Rasulullah said, tell him that if you become a Muslim, I will give him respect, I will give you honor. Because a man like his strong, his caliber and everything, his talent, we need him in our group, and Allah will guide him, he will get a lot of rewards. So basically Rasulullah praised him. And his brother, Khalid bin Walid's brother, he wrote a letter to Khalid, oh Khalid, how long are you going to be like this? This is the truth, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you accept Islam. So that letter and all this other situation softened the heart of Khalid bin Walid, and he also decided that he's going to go to Makkah and accept the Islam. And it also says that Khalid bin Walid was a friend of Usman bin Talha. This is a different Usman. This is not Usman bin Affan. Usman bin Talha, that he give him dawah, and he said we'll all three go together and accept Islam. Now these three people is a symbolism, because Amr ibn al-As is the leader of the politician, as he mentioned, and Khalid bin Walid is the leader of the army, so the military conversation you can say. And Usman bin Talha, he had the key of the Kaaba. His tribe is Abu Abdiddar. They have the key of the Kaaba, and still today that tribe, basically that lineage, still have the key of the Kaaba. So basically three symbols: the Kaaba, the religious conversion, the military conversion, and the political conversion. All these three people have accepted Islam all together, and they went to Rasulullah, and it was said that Khalid bin Walid is the first one to accept Islam. Like went to Rasulullah and say he gave bayah, and then Amr ibn al-As came, and as you all know, there is this famous hadith. Amr ibn al-As said, Ya Rasulullah, I will accept Islam with you, but I have a condition. So what is the condition? That all my previous sin has to be forgiven. You ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if Allah should forgive everything, then I will be Muslim. Then Rasulullah smiled and he said, don't you know that the three things will remove all your sins? When you become a Muslim, all your past sins forgiven. When you do the hijrah, all your past sins are forgiven. And when you do Hajj. So Alhamdulillah, Rasulullah said Hajj, because those two are not possible for us. Hajj is the only thing we can do. And inshallah ta'ala, may Allah forgive us everything. So this is how these three people become Muslim. And this is the end of the last batch who became Muslim after the Makkah. And it was very clear after that, Islam is going to prevail. There's nobody can stop it, because everybody, all the big leaders, all the big, the number of the Muslims, everything has increased. And very soon, inshallah, next lecture will say how Rasulullah entered into Makkah, the conquest of Makkah, and he established the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallahu khair. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.